One notification, that's all it took. I was sitting in my beat-up Honda Civic, eating a gas station hot dog for lunch because it was all I could afford, when my phone buzzed. It was a bank alert. My online business had just hit $100,000 in sales. I literally cried in a parking lot. Just 12 months earlier, I had $87 in my bank account and maxed out credit cards. Maybe you're there right now. You feel like you're working so hard but just spinning your wheels, going nowhere. You're watching other people get ahead, buying houses, going on vacations, while you're just stuck. That paycheck-to-paycheck anxiety is suffocating, isn't it? That knot in your stomach when an unexpected bill comes in the mail, or your car makes a funny noise. I know that feeling better than you think. I've been there. I was so broke at one point that I'd walk through parking lots, scanning the ground, just hoping to find some loose change. It was humiliating, but here is the secret I had to learn the hard way. The system we were taught to follow is broken, but you are not. Your ambition, your drive, your desire for something more, that's not the problem. The problem is the path you've been told to walk. For the first 3 months of my journey, I did the unsexy, grueling work. There was no glamour, no passive income dream. It was pure survival mode. I took every terrible job nobody else wanted. I delivered food in the pouring rain, getting soaked to the bone for a few dollars. I assembled flat-pack furniture for people who barely looked at me, who treated me like I was just a pair of hands, completely invisible. I lived on a fraction of what I made, and trust me, I didn't make much, but every single dollar I managed to save, every $5 bill I tucked away, went toward one single obsessive goal: buying my freedom. And I'll tell you something. That first $1,000 I saved, that felt better than any $10,000 I make today. Because it wasn't just money. It was hope, made real and tangible. It was the first brick in the foundation of a new life. Then came the moment that changed everything. It wasn't some grand epiphany. It was small, almost accidental. I was helping a local coffee shop with their social media for about $15 an hour. They were great people, but they were struggling to create content consistently. It was a constant headache for them. So, one weekend, just to make my own job easier, I batched the work. I built them a full 30 days of social media posts, graphics, captions, everything. I handed it over, and they were ecstatic. And that's when the light bulb went on. It wasn't a flicker, it was a floodlight. I thought, wait a minute. What if I could sell this exact same package to other coffee shops? Not for $15 an hour, but as a one-time product. Say, for $197. It took me 3 agonizing weeks to land that first sale. I sent dozens of emails, got a lot of rejections. But when that first payment notification came through, that dopamine hit was better than anything. It was proof that I could create value out of thin air. Suddenly, the entire equation of my life flipped. I was no longer just trading my time for money. I had built a tiny, simple machine that worked for me even while I slept. I'd wake up in the morning, check my phone, and see sales notifications from people I'd never met, in states I'd never even visited. That's when I became addicted, not to the money, but to the process of building. I was addicted to creating systems that could help people and generate income independently of my direct effort. I poured every single dollar I made right back into the business. I invested in better design templates. I paid for a real website instead of a clunky landing page, and I started learning how to run smart, targeted ads. Within 6 months, my little side project was making more money than my full-time day job. The snowball had started rolling, and it was picking up speed fast. The day I quit my job was one of the most terrifying and glorious days of my life. Walking out of that office for the last time felt like taking my first breath of fresh air after being underwater for years. But the real victory wasn't the dramatic exit. The real payoff came later, in the quiet, mundane moments. It was in being able to say yes without hesitation when my mom called and needed help with a big bill, without having to frantically check my bank account first. It was in the freedom to take a Tuesday afternoon off to go for a long walk in the park, not because I was sick or on vacation, but just because I could. That, right there, is what real wealth feels like. It's not the number in your account. It's the peace in your heart. It's control over your time. It's options. Listen, you don't need a miracle to change your life. You don't need a lucky break or some venture capital funding. You just need a system. Start with what you already know. What problem, big or small, do you understand? Who can you help? It doesn't have to be a huge, world-changing idea. Just find a small group of people with a specific problem and create a solution for them. Build something once that you can sell forever. That first small win, that first sale, will ignite a fire in you that you didn't know you had. It changes everything. If you're ready to stop dreaming and start building, I'm putting together a completely free guide that shares my exact templates, the email scripts I used, and the first steps I took. All you have to do is subscribe, and I'll send it straight to you. Your future self is waiting for you to take this step. And trust me, they're rooting for you. Thanks for watching.